Ali had always been warned about abandoned neighborhoods, especially in places where construction was left unfinished. But as a property developer desperate to cut costs, he saw these neglected houses on the outskirts of Riyadh as an opportunity. They were perfect shells, needing just a few finishing touches before he could sell them off. So, one quiet evening, he decided to inspect the site himself. The sun dipped low, casting eerie shadows on the half-built walls, and the silence was thick and unnatural, broken only by the occasional whisper of desert winds. Ali shrugged off the unease. He'd heard the Jinn stories all his life, but never took them seriously. Jinn don't haunt places. They haunt people's minds, he told himself, entering the first structure. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the smell of stale concrete. As he ventured further, Ali began to feel watched. Shadows seemed to shift in the corners of his vision, and there was an unmistakable chill in the air. He turned a corner, and that's when he saw it. A dark figure, no taller than a child, crouched in the far end of the room, its eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. He froze, trying to rationalize it as a trick of his mind, but the figure didn't vanish. It moved. Ali stumbled backward, gripping his flashlight. The figure crawled, its movements unnatural and jerky, yet silent. And then it began to whisper. The words were Arabic, but the dialect was ancient, unfamiliar. He couldn't make out the full meaning, but he caught phrases, "Leave this place," and "You do not belong here." Suddenly, laughter echoed through the empty shell of the building, though no one was visible. Doors began to slam shut around him, trapping him in the skeletal frame of the house. In his panic, he stumbled into another room, but it was wrong. This room wasn't in the plans, and he felt suffocated by an unseen presence pressing down on him. Then he heard a voice, low and cold. "You disturb our home, human," Ali screamed, racing out into the open air. But the silence out there was even more suffocating. From the windows of each empty house, shadowy figures watched him, their eyes reflecting the last light of dusk. He felt a pull, something dragging at him, as if trying to bring him back into the darkness of the house. He fled to his car, barely able to breathe, and sped away. Later that night, as he lay awake in his own bed, he thought he'd escaped. But when he glanced at the shadows on his wall, he realized he had brought them with him. Now, each night, he hears the laughter, the whispers, and he knows he is never truly alone.